Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time once again for a postcard of the week. This week, we're going to be wrapping up and we're going to be thinking about our forthcoming 45th Wichita Postcard Club show this October 21 and 22. And to get this started, we've asked our friend Tom Mulvaney from Montana and Arizona, and he's going to kind of relive or talk a little bit about why he came to the Wichita show in the beginning, or, he's been coming for a long time. So, Tom, tell us about it as you best remember.
You bet. I've been coming to the Wichita Postcard Show for at least 35 years, and so that has a ton of memories for me. And I think I'm probably one of the older participants at this point in time. I bow down to Obi Braskerud, maybe Jim Taylor. Maybe, well, I know Hal Ottaway, of course, being one of the club's founders, but not too many people have come to the show more often than myself. And why do I come back year after year? Well, it's pretty simple. It's just a great time. Not just the collecting of the postcards, not just going to the show and all that, but we're kind of like a family for a whole week down there in Wichita. We go out to dinner quite often in groups of 10 or 12 or 20 people, different groups each time, oftentimes, and then just getting around to talking to my friends that I've developed over the years in the postcard hobby is just great fun. I could name 30 or 40 people, I think, that I look forward to seeing every year. And so uh, that's one of the main reasons I come. Now, when I was working for the Montana legislature, that was a high stress job. And there was nothing I looked forward to the whole year more than getting a week-long break from the stress of my job and coming to Wichita and just having a great time. Um, from the start, from Hal Ottaway picking me up almost invariably at the airport and taking me back to the motel and then visiting with people. And then, of course, Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday is the big show at the All Saints Gymnasium there. And then oftentimes on Sunday after the show, um, a lot of us would assemble over at Hal and Luke's home and just have pizza and do a show and tell with two or three of our favorite postcards that we bought at the show and have one last kind of like party before we all headed back our separate ways to wherever we came from. But Wichita week has always been one of my favorite times.
Great. Tom, what can did you bring some cards along to show us for this postcard of the week?
Absolutely. I started collecting these cards we're going to show you here about 10 years ago, and it fits right in with one of my main interests that I grew up with, and that was uh, rock and roll music. Although I like, a little bit of other kinds of music as well, but always from the time I was in probably eighth grade, ninth grade, when the British invasion came into the country and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and all those British bands started to gain popularity. And then we had our Beach Boys. And then, some of the other American bands started to perk up when they saw that the British boys were getting all the attention. These bands and oftentimes maybe the lead singer of the band or the full picture of the band can be found on postcards. And I didn't really ever discover that until about 10 years ago. And I've since that time been collecting these types of postcards. And so today, I brought two postcards, both showing one of my very favorite bands. One of them shows the lead singer, and the other one is a Rick Gary card that my friend Hal had done back in 2013. So I guess we're ready to show you both those cards at this time.
Sure.
Okay. Mick Jagger, of course, is still going strong even to this day, and he just turned 80 years old. I think about a week ago or something like that, and he is the lead singer of the Rolling Stones. And ever since he came out with Satisfaction, which became my favorite song right off the bat, and then on and on over 50 plus years, maybe close to 60 years now, and they're still touring and they're still doing concerts, although they lost their drummer not too long ago, and one of the other original members retired. I don't know why you do that. It's 70 years old. Why would he retire? But anyway, it's just Keith Richards, of course, is the lead guitarist in the Rolling Stones. Anyway, I love collecting cards like that, and especially from some of my favorite rock and roll musicians, bands. The other card is a card that Hal produced 10 years ago, but I don't know, are you and Mick Jagger, are your birthdays exactly the same day or almost the same day?
Well,
right?
no, I'm in January 43, and he's in August, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, same year, right? Same year.
Yes,
So
43.
you're both the same age most of the time then. Eight. This is when you turned 70 years old 10 years ago, which means you both are now 80 years old. My gosh, hard to believe. But it's a great card. It shows how bursting out of the top of a birthday cake with the old big lip sticking out, the famous Rolling Stones logo. And you got Mick Jagger and Keith Richards there advertising National Postcard Week, and Hal's got his guitar, and it's just a great card. One of those classic Rick Gary cards that we all love. And so those are two of the cards that I brought today, just to show an example of what I have discovered as one of my favorite topics now, is collecting musicians from my time when I was growing up, the rock and roll of the 1960s and the 1970s, and then onward. One more mention, going back to the Mick Jagger card. That card was produced by Cora Lee, and if you are familiar with her at all, she was quite a lady in terms of producing very large number of photographs, which she made into postcards of famous people, a lot of politicians, the Jimmy Carter era, the Ronald Reagan era, but also postcards that showed personalities outside of the political spectrum. And this Mick Jagger card is an example of that. She did many musicians, so my collection probably is at least 1/3 of her cards. And the nice thing about these cards is that they're relatively inexpensive, and so you can build a nice collection of them without a great expenditure. So think about that, you people from the 60s and 70s, as another possible thing to collect.
That's true. And I have a similar album, or a binder, and I bought those top loader pages where you can put your different sizes of postcards in. And I just share with you that good feeling of having an album like that, or a binder full of rock and roll postcards, and showing it to friends, and boy, they respond right away when you think of postcards, usually or a lot of times people think of the Empire State Building or Niagara Falls, but there are lots of cards showing our era, the 50s, the mid-century, 60s, the car models. That car in your background today, Tom, is I think a Ford, isn't it? I'm not a car guy, but that particular postcard is actually a record, is it not?
Yeah, get out of the way here so you can see it better.
It has the hole right in the center where you put it on the turntable. Well, thanks for coming today, Tom, and we look forward to seeing you just in a few more weeks. And so everyone join us for the Wichita 45th show this year in October. And show us that shirt you've got on.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Abbey Road. Whoops. There we go.
That's good.
I'll wear this to Wichita so that everybody will know who I am.
Oh, good. That'll help. Thanks for helping us out today, Tom.
Oh, glad to. Yeah, thanks for having me. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in person at Wichita in October.
Okay, great. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See ya.